Life won't hand you a bed of roses. More often, it throws curveballs your way. Setbacks, frustration, moments when you feel like you can't stand anymore. No one escapes it. It shows up uninvited, like a guest you didn't ask for. But here's the real question. What do you do when it hits? Do you let the struggle crush you? Or do you step up, stomp over the obstacles, and turn them into fuel to get tougher, sharper? Today we're diving into Stoicism, not to whine or daydream, but to arm you with a mental toolkit to face life's punches while staying calm and clear-headed. If you've ever felt lost after a breakup or burned out from pleasing everyone but yourself, you're in the right place. I'll break it down deep, give you practical ways to use it now. Built on 2,000 years of Stoic wisdom. No fluff. These 6 lessons ahead are razor-sharp tools to take control. And if you value what we're doing here, hitting that subscribe button is a simple, free way to back us up. Don't miss a second. Every idea could be the spark you need to rethink, relive. Stick with us. Let's forge an unbreakable spirit together, starting right now. 1. Master your emotions. Stay calm in any storm. Ever been caught in a moment where everything spirals out of control? A heated argument where sharp words slip out before you can think? Or a wave of anxiety that blinds you to any way out? Maybe you've rushed into something out of excitement, only to ask later, what did I just do? We've all been there, and if you pay attention, you'll notice. In those moments, you're not in charge. That's right, your emotions are running the show. Anger, fear, excitement. They're part of being human, but they often hijack us. Let them take the wheel, and you're stuck spinning in chaos. That's where Stoicism comes in. Not some vague lifeline, but a sharp blade to cut through the emotional mess and take back control. Stoicism doesn't ask you to bury your feelings or act like a lifeless statue. It invites you to face them head-on, understand them, and decide how to deal. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength." The core idea: emotions aren't the enemy, but if you don't master them, they'll master you. The goal isn't to wipe them out, but to stay sharp and steer them, so you can stand tall whether life's throwing storms or sunshine your way. Picture this. Someone says something that sets you off. An unfair jab from a coworker, a nasty remark from a friend. What's your first move? Snap back, lash out, or shrink into hurt? That's natural. But Stoicism says there's a gap between what happens and what you do, a power gap. In that split second, you can choose. Let anger drive you or pause, take a breath, and respond with calm. That pause isn't weakness. It's your secret weapon, pure gold. You've got to carve out that breathing room if you want to own yourself. Seneca, a Stoic heavyweight, said, "The best cure for anger is delay. Just a few seconds can flip you from emotion's slave to its boss." How do you make it real? First, spot your emotions the moment they kick in. Heart racing, shoulders tight. Don't ignore it. That's your cue something's brewing. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why is it here? Maybe you're mad because you feel disrespected or anxious over an uncertain tomorrow. Name it. Naming it strips away some of its power. It's not a shadowy monster anymore, just something you can break down and handle. Then ask, is this worth acting on? Most times you'll see a harsh word doesn't deserve to wreck your peace, but if you still want to hit back, hold up. Sure, it might feel good, but it could drag you down to their level. You don't want to be sized up as their equal, right? Stoicism isn't just for the bad stuff. Too much joy or hype can shove you into rash moves, like saying yes to something you'll regret later. There's a saying, don't promise when you're happy. The key is balance. Think of your mind as a ship. Emotions are the winds, sometimes wild, sometimes gentle. You can't stop the wind, but you can adjust the sails to stay on course. Keep that steady hand, and your choices come from clear thinking, not fleeting waves of feeling. To build this skill, check in with yourself daily. Take a few minutes. When did emotions take over? What set them off? How could you handle it better next time? Here's the game changer, the foundation for that breathing room in conflicts. Cultivate a chill mindset. Look for the good in people, not just their flaws. Those who pick fights often carry their own baggage. People at peace don't stir trouble. See that, and you'll find it easier to cut them slack. Dodging the trap of negative vibes. Stoicism reminds us emotions don't last. They're like clouds drifting by. You're mad today, it's gone tomorrow, unless you cling to it. Get this impermanence, and letting go becomes simpler. You watch them pass without getting swept away. It's not an easy path, but it's worth it. Master your emotions, and you don't just dodge bad calls. You unlock an inner freedom nothing can shake. An insult? It fades. A failure? It doesn't define you. With Stoicism, you live awake, tough, unbreakable. 2. Embrace change. Turn the flow into your strength. Life never stands still. Have you noticed that yet? One day, you think you've got it all figured out. The next, your plans crumble like a sandcastle against the tide. Maybe a relationship ends out of nowhere. A job you love takes a turn, or a big shift pulls you away from everything familiar. Change is constant, like your heartbeat, unavoidable, unstoppable. But for a lot of us, it's the biggest stress trigger. Why do we freak out over something as natural as the sun rising and setting? The answer isn't in the change itself, it's in how we face it, fighting it or rolling with it. Stoicism offers a badass approach. Don't dodge it. Make that flow your power. When the unexpected hits, your gut says resist. You cling to what's slipping away, dread the unknown, or stress about screwing up next. But what if you stopped fighting and leaned into it instead? Think about it. How much energy would you save? How much peace would you find if you saw change as part of the game, not a wrecking ball? Stoicism teaches that change isn't a threat. It's a shot to grow, learn, and get more flexible. The concept amor fati, love your fate, is the key. This isn't passive surrender. It's actively embracing whatever life throws at you. It's saying, bring it on, I'll work with it. That's the mindset that turns roadblocks into stepping stones. Picture this. One day, your dream project gets axed, or someone you trust walks out without a word. What hits first? Shock, anger, or a desperate grip on the past? Stoicism steps in with a reminder. You can't control when change strikes or how it lands. You only control how you react. That's real power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stops you from acting can push you to act. The obstacle is the way." When you embrace change, you sync with life's rhythm, cut the inner drama, and boost your ability to tackle whatever's next. It's not easy, not always comfy, but how you respond decides if the ride's rough or smooth. So how do you own this? Start by training flexibility in your head and your moves. Mastering change like a pro means prepping for the unknown, staying cool when things flip upside down, and pivoting when you need to. Don't cling to an old version of yourself or outdated dreams. Keep updating who you are and what you can be. In real life, this could be as simple as tweaking your daily routine when stuff shifts, or as big as switching careers to live truer to yourself. A buddy of mine lost his job after years of grinding. Panic hit first, but then he used that time to pick up new skills, find a better path, and boom, he tapped into strengths he never knew he had. Change didn't crush him, it shaped him, unlocked his hidden edge. Here's a practical tool. Reflect. Regularly look back on the changes you've faced, especially the tough ones. Ask yourself, what did this teach me? How did I grow? Maybe losing a relationship made you tougher, or a flop forced you to get creative. These questions turn change from something scary into a natural, even useful part of life. Do it consistently, and you'll build a habit of seeing the flow as a teacher, not an enemy. But here's the crux. Embracing doesn't mean giving up. Stoicism doesn't tell you to sit there when everything falls apart. It demands action, but with a clear head. You can't stop the storm, but you can learn to steer through it. Epictetus, a Stoic pro, said, "We don't pick our circumstances, but we always pick how we deal with them." When one door slams shut, don't bang on it. Hunt for another or carve your own way out. That takes guts and adaptability, but it's how you bend without breaking. Change never stops coming, like waves crashing on the shore, always different. Stoicism says fighting it just wears you out. Embracing it makes you stronger. When you love your fate, not by shutting your eyes and taking it, but by facing it and moving, you don't just survive change, you fuel up on it. A plan flops, it opens a new route. A loss, it hardens you up. With Stoicism, change isn't a destroyer. It's your wingman, guiding you to the best damn version of yourself. 3. Take responsibility. Own your life. When everything falls apart, what do? A big plan flops, a relationship cracks, or an opportunity slips away. It's so easy to point fingers at others or blame the situation. Maybe you've thought, if they hadn't done that, things would have been fine. Or why am I so unlucky? We've all been there, shaking our heads at stuff we can't reach. But here's a game changer. What if you stopped blaming and looked hard at your own role? Stoicism isn't some fluffy comfort. It's a call to step up, pushing you to take responsibility for your life, not through whining, but through action. Stoicism teaches that real strength comes from focusing on what you can control. The world might be a mess, unpredictable as hell, but your reactions and moves, those are yours. Sounds intimidating at first, but getting this unlocks freedom. You're not a victim of circumstances anymore. You're the architect of your own path. Taking responsibility means owning it. Your decisions, your reactions, your mindset shape your life. Say you're stuck in a dead-end job or a toxic relationship. Instead of griping about bad luck, ask yourself, what can I do right now? Level up your skills, call people out, or walk away. The power's in your hands. This isn't about giving in, it's about jumping into the fight. Imagine you screw up, a hot-headed outburst you regret, or a choice that costs you. What's your instinct? Blame someone else, brush it off, or face it square. Stoicism picks door 3. Mistakes are human, but how you handle them defines you. Epictetus said, "We don't choose what happens, but we always choose how we respond." Every slip-up's a chance to learn, a launch pad to get wiser, tougher. Taking responsibility also means managing what you expect. Stoics have this trick called preparing for the worst, mentally gearing up for potential trouble. It's not pessimism, it's real talk. Life's never perfect. When you picture things going south, a plan tanking, a promise breaking, you're not blindsided when it hits. You're ready to tackle it with grit and a clear head because you've got a backup move. Before a big meeting, I tell myself, if they say no, what's my next play? When it didn't go my way, I didn't crash. I had a plan B lined up. How do you bring this into your day-to-day? Start with a quick check-in. At the end of each day, take a few minutes. What went well today? How did I mess up anything that didn't? What can I do different next time? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about leveling up. Here's the thing. No matter what goes wrong, there's always some piece of it you own. Dig into it, you'll see. That's why you've got to stay ready to take the wheel on everything in your life. Once I snapped at a friend over a misunderstanding. Looking back, I saw I jumped the gun. Next time, I listened first, and it changed everything. Responsibility isn't just big moments. It's the small choices, from how you talk to how you face the grind. But here's the deal. Owning it doesn't mean torturing yourself over mistakes. Stoicism doesn't want you drowning in regret. It wants you to learn and move on. When you mess up, don't duck out or point fingers. Ask, what can I take from this? A hard lesson to never act that way again, a fix-it plan, or a fresh step forward, all these put you back in charge. It takes guts, but it brings a deep calm. You live with integrity, knowing you're not just a bystander in your own story. Here's the kicker. This is daily work. Every time you choose to own it, you sharpen your ability to shape your narrative. You build resilience, confidence, and freedom from realizing no one else is on the hook for your happiness or success. That's on you. Next time a challenge rolls in, a plan busts or a relationship wobbles, Pause and tell yourself, I can't control it all, but I control what I do next. That's Stoicism's core, putting you in the driver's seat. Criticism can't knock you down. Failure doesn't label you. With responsibility, you don't just live, you own your life. 4. Hold your boundaries, protect your energy. Ever feel like you're chasing too much, leaving nothing for yourself? Some days you say yes to every ask, friends needing favors, invites to hang out, even when you're screaming inside, enough already. But you stay quiet, worried turning them down will let someone down. We've all been caught in that spiral, trying to do it all, only to end up burned out. Here's the truth. If you don't hold your boundaries, you're not just losing time, you're losing yourself. Stoicism brings a sharp take. Setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away. It's how you keep your energy to live fuller. Stoicism says, live in tune with nature. And nature's got limits. Mountains block clouds, rivers hold water. You need boundaries too, to shield your inner strength. This isn't about walling folks off. It's drawing a clear line. What deserves your time, what doesn't. It starts with knowing what you value. Need space to think? Keep your evenings yours? Care about your health? Don't let random calls mess with your sleep. Boundaries are your stake in the ground. Not random, but what you're committed to guarding. You weren't born to please everyone. You were born to live true to yourself. So why is it tough? Saying no freaks us out, afraid of being misjudged, looking cold, or just plain people-pleasing. I've been there. A friend asked for help when I was already stretched thin, and I said yes even though I couldn't handle it. Result? I got cranky. It didn't turn out right. They were confused. Nobody won. Stoicism says living right isn't about sacrificing yourself. It's about keeping your strength for when and where it counts. Epictetus put it like this: ask, does this belong to me? If not, I'm not sweating it. Boundaries let you say yes to what matters by saying no to what doesn't. How do you pull it off? First, figure out your limits. Sit down and ask, what's draining me? What do I want to spend time on? Maybe you're wasting hours on pointless texts or stuck in chats just to keep the peace. Then act. Say no, straight up, no dancing around. Try, I can't help this time, or I need a break today. That's it. No long excuses. You don't owe anyone a rundown. It might feel weird at first, but the relief that follows proves it's right. Look back at when you've run dry. When did you feel pissed off or empty? That's your sign a boundary got crossed. Once I let someone barge into my lunch break, next thing I'm wiped out, snappy, and my work tanked. So I decided that time's mine, no exceptions. What happened? I worked better, felt clearer. Reflecting like that helps you tweak things. Not to cut ties, but to save your energy for what's worth it. Marcus Aurelius said, if you don't pick what's yours, others will pick for you. Don't let anyone call the shots on your time and strength. Guard them. Setting boundaries is how you take charge of yourself. It takes guts to say no, but it frees you up to say yes to what you love. Do this and stress drops. You've got juice to chase your passions, and your relationships get real. No more silent grudges. I used to think saying no would piss people off, but then I saw, when I protect my energy, I bring my best self to the table. That's the real win. It's a skill you build. Every time you stand firm, you're claiming your worth. A favor you can't handle? You pass without blinking. A meetup you don't need? You skip it, no looking back. With Stoicism, boundaries aren't barriers. They're the bedrock for living strong, with purpose. You're not just drifting through life, you're owning it with full energy and a clear mind. 5. Respect yourself. Be kind on the bad days. Ever beat yourself up over a tiny slip? Missed a deadline, said something that ticked someone off, or had a day where you didn't hit your goals, and bam, that voice in your head kicks in. You're awful. You don't deserve this. Why bother? We're often our own worst critics, setting impossible bars and punishing ourselves when we fall short. But what if you paused for a second and asked, what would I say to my best friend if they were in this spot? You'd probably comfort them, lift them up, not kick them down harder. So why not give that kindness to yourself? Stoicism offers a deep take. Respecting your worth isn't weak. It's the strength to stand tall on your roughest days. Stoicism isn't just about being tough. At its heart, it's about self-compassion through clear thinking. Marcus Aurelius got it. Mistakes are unavoidable. We're human, not gods. Torturing yourself over them does nothing but pile on pain. Instead, they push you to look at yourself straight. You're not perfect, but you're worth it, and every stumble's a chance to get up smarter. Being kind to yourself isn't coddling. It's shifting from self-bashing to self-backing, turning that inner enemy into your ally. Imagine this. You bomb a big project. What hits first? Self-blame. I'm so stupid, I should have done better. But Stoicism nudges you to flip the script. Stop, breathe, and ask, what would I tell a friend here? Maybe, it's okay, you gave it your all. Next time's a fresh shot. Now say that to yourself. This switch doesn't just calm you down. It opens a brighter view, cuts the stress, and fuels you to push forward instead of drowning in regret. I used to tear myself apart over a shaky presentation. But when I treated myself like a friend, I realized I'm not trash, I'm just learning. Self-kindness also means seeing you're not alone in the struggle. Failure, pain, that's the human deal. When you trip, don't think you're the only screw-up. Everyone's been there, from the top dogs to the regular Joes. Stoicism hammers this home. You're part of humanity, flaws and all, beauty included. Get that, and you stop isolating yourself in hurt. You feel connected instead. You're not weak, you're just living. Here's a real way to build this. Practice mindfulness. When negative vibes hit, shame, letdown, don't let them drag you under. Watch them like an outsider. I'm feeling this, but it's not me. Stoicism sees mindfulness as the balance keeper. It shows you emotions are just passing, not your worth. Seneca nailed it. We suffer more in our heads than in reality. Try it once. Next time you're freaking out over a mistake, sit with it, look at it. You'll see it's not as huge as you thought. It passes and you'll feel lighter. How do you start? Take a few minutes daily to reflect. Look back at when you were too hard on yourself. What did I rag on myself about? How can I go easier next time? Jot it down if it helps. Not to make excuses, but to learn forgiveness. A bad day doesn't make you a failure. It's just a day. I used to list out my self-criticism, then rewrite it like I'd tell a buddy. Over time, I felt less weighed down, stronger after the falls. Respecting your worth isn't arrogance. It's owning that you're human, with mess-ups and the power to fix them. Stoicism doesn't want you down or cocky. It wants you steady, knowing you deserve kindness, even from yourself. Next time you stumble, a plan tanks, a word stings, don't twist the knife deeper. Ask, what can I take from this? Then get up. A flop doesn't erase your value. A rough day doesn't define you. With Stoicism, you don't just scrape by. You live with dignity, compassion, and an inner strength nothing can crack. 6. Keep learning. Sharpen your mind every day. Ever feel like what you know is just a drop in the ocean? The deeper you dig, the more gaps you spot. Stuff you don't know, don't get. But instead of getting bummed out, it can light a fire in you. A hunger to explore, understand, and keep growing. That's what pushing to learn is all about. Not cramming your brain, but sharpening it, keeping it alive and nimble. Stoicism sees this as the key to a life worth living. Never stop learning. Grab something from every moment and become a better you. For Stoics, wisdom doesn't have an endpoint. It's not done at a diploma or a milestone. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live like it's your last lesson and like you'll live forever." They treat every day as a classroom, every experience, win or wipeout, as a goldmine lesson. A victory teaches you humility. A fall builds your grit. To them, learning's about constantly adapting, expanding what you know, and tackling challenges as growth fuel. It's not just piling up facts, it's reshaping how you think, act, and roll with a world that's always shifting. Think about it. You hit a curveball, a new gig that throws you off, or a personal flop that yanks you out of your comfort zone. Your first urge might be to duck, but Stoicism says dive in. Those moments are the perfect forge, where theory gets tested and real-world smarts get hammered out. Once I took on a leadership role I wasn't ready for. Panic hit hard, but then I saw it, a chance to learn how to stay calm, keep my head clear for decisions, and trust my own chops. Instead of bailing, I leaned in, and it made me tougher. How do you live this way? Start by treating every day as a learning shot. After anything happens, ask, what did I pick up here? A tense argument might teach you patience. A busted plan might show you how to strategize smarter. Actively hunt for lessons in everything, big or small, and turn ordinary moments into steps up. I bombed a project once because I wasn't prepped. Instead of beating myself up, I asked, what's different next time? That answer changed how I work for good. But here's the big one in learning. Stay humble. It's the bedrock of this journey. Stoicism warns against getting cocky. Thinking you've got it all figured out is the fastest way to stall. Real wisdom means owning how much you don't know. That opens you up to learn from anyone, any angle, even the ones that clash with yours. Listen more than you talk. Ask instead of assume. I once argued with someone who saw things differently. Instead of fighting to win, I shut up, listened, then asked why. It opened my eyes to something I'd never considered. Humility doesn't shrink you, it grows you. To make it stick, step out of your safe zone. Grab a book you'd skip, chat with someone you don't get, or try something you've dodged. Each move stretches your mind, deepens how you see the world. I was scared to try writing, but when I did, I found a skill I didn't know I had. Stoicism stresses, learning isn't just soaking stuff up, it's chewing it over and putting it to use. Take time each week to think back. What did I learn this week? How's it shifting me? Write it down if you want, not to brag, but to track how you're leveling up. Pushing to learn is an evolution game. It's not just about knowing more, it's about getting more adaptable, thinking sharper, acting smoother. When you keep at it, you don't just get smarter. You grow in understanding, patience, and the chops to face any challenge. I thought losing a big shot was a failure. Looking back, it taught me to let go and carve a new path. Stoicism says life's a non-stop string of lessons. Every tumble's a rung up the ladder. Become unbreakable today. Life won't stop testing you, but when you master these 6 Stoic lessons, you'll become unbreakable. Nothing can take you down. From controlling your emotions to pushing to learn, these are the keys to turning tough times into strength. You ready? If this journey means something to you, hit that subscribe button. A small, free move to back us up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which lesson makes you want to start right now? Your comments fuel us to keep making videos, building an iron spirit alongside you. Don't wait. Pick one lesson, use it today, whether it's pausing before you snap or jotting down what you've learned. Subscribe, comment, and kick off your path to Unbreakable right now.